It's time for the keys to life. When I say keys to life, you say. When I say keys to life, you say. When I say keys to life, you say. That last one was like worse than the first one. That was confusing. So one more time. When I say keys to life, you say. There we are. All right, all right, all right. Number one, I'm not supposed to always fit in. I think there is a difficulty because we find ourselves looking in school, looking at the job, looking in business, in different ways, trying to fit in. And I think many people don't even know that they're trying to fit in. They just expect to belong. They expect to uh, kind of acquiesce to some of the things that other people do when we don't actually acquiesce to all the things that other people do. We are an example. We present ourselves a certain way and we do certain things differently than other people do. And you have to learn how to be comfortable in being you. And it doesn't matter how old you are, being a young person, being an older person, being a senior citizen, it doesn't matter how old you are. You have to learn how to be comfortable in being who you are and whose you are. Because no one is going to always agree with you. No one's going to always like you. But if you become like everybody else, what makes you different than everybody else? They don't have to know who Jesus is if everybody just stays the same, if everybody acts the same way. You're not only a child of God, but you also want success. You also want consistently want to consistently be happy. And so when I talk about this, I'm not just talking about being saved, but I want to talk to you about all the things that you desire in life, all the things that you find enjoyable in life, all the things that you choose to be and how you choose to act. There are different people that choose to be a certain type of nerd. There's certain type of people that are excited about biology, excited about books, excited about culture and different things. It's okay being you. And I think sometimes the problem is that we are comfortable with ourselves by ourselves, but in public places with other people our age and in our way, we kind of get to little be different. We acquiesce. We go to what they would choose to do, and I can't allow you to believe that that's okay. You've got to be comfortable in the God you serve. Comfortable enough to act the same way you act in church, the same way you act at home, outside. You've got to be comfortable in who you are and how no matter how weird you are. Being weird at church, being weird at home, being weird at school, being weird at the job. Don't change to do what other people do expecting for people to then be okay with you. Because there are some people in this world that will never, ever, ever be okay with you because they just don't like you. And that is okay. You've got to be able to say, that's okay. Seek God, seek the things of God, seek success, seek happiness. You can be happy. You just have to decide what it is that makes you happy and is it okay? And if it's okay with God, then it should be okay with everybody else. So no matter how weird you are or how saved you are, or no matter what you do, if it's okay with God, go in peace. Settle it for yourself. Be okay with how you present it. Because this is the only life that you have. And I want to be clear with this because this is something that a lot of times people just don't gather. They just don't. There's no after this life, you live eternally. But all your job then is to do is to serve and to love and to enjoy and sing praises to God. So right here, right now, He's allowing you to serve Him and also go after some things. And He said, if you, then I. So he's okay with you wanting some things. He just don't want the things in his way. So as long as they on the way, he's okay with it. So don't let anybody stop you from getting the things that you like if you know that God is okay with it. All right, number 2, control your emotions. We've talked about this. We live this. This is what we do here. But I want to see it, trying to give it to you a different way. I always tell you to talk to yourself. I always tell you to have to think about what you say before you say it. Think about how you say what you say. But ask yourself, is it enough? Am I doing enough? Have I said what I needed to say, and did I say enough? Or have I said too much? I need to take more time inside before I take more time what? Outside. Think inside before I speak outside. Think inside before I act outside. Here's the key. There is a price for my words and my actions. So if you didn't get anything else, write this down. There is a price for my words and for my actions. And so I have to ask myself, did I do enough there? Okay, that's enough. I'm going to leave it alone because I've done enough. I've said enough. There's times when I find myself and I'm talking, and I realize, hey, they get it. Or they give me the face like, I get it. I'm like, okay, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. Because you don't make someone better because you just consistently talk. You have to decide that you've said what was needed to be said, how it was needed to be said, and then you just stop. You have to figure out whether you are doing enough to make sure that you stop doing the things that you're doing. Because most of the things that happen in your emotions happen to you and how you. Nobody feels it until after you express how you feel. But if how you feel should not be expressed, you would be the one to know that. And whether you express it and how you express it makes a difference. Whether you say, what I'm saying to you is, I have to decide. I am the manager. I am the steward over how I present myself and how I express myself, and whether it needs to be what? Expressed. Because if I don't need to express it, maybe I need to change how I feel. If you ever thought about maybe instead of speaking to people, I feel this type way, but I don't have to feel this kind of way. I don't have to be frustrated. I don't have to be angry. I don't have to be mad. I need to go get myself together and come back. Because it's me that's going to change the room. It's my attitude, my atmosphere that changes how things work. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. You can change it. You can change it. Renew your mind. If you're doing something and you've done enough, you've gotten to where you needed to go, maybe you shouldn't push the envelope any further. Just because you feel like being a glutton, or you feel like you should have more, or you feel like, stop how you feel. Change how you feel. Govern your life. People say, well, you were talking and you stopped talking. I'm just managing what I'm doing. Oh no, say what you got. No, it's okay. Because I've said enough, or I've said too much. Oh no, you got. No matter what people say to you, at some point, it's okay to just stop responding. Because you have to be understand that how you respond changes how people look at you. And if you don't want people to look at you a certain way, maybe you should use more wisdom in how you respond. All right, next point. Respect the sin you detached from. Respect the sin you removed yourself from. Anything God has given you the grace, He's given you the strength to become a more than a conqueror over, doesn't mean you are now Superman. It does not mean that now you are free. People, I know everybody tell you in church, you free from it. You are free from it. But if you don't respect it, you will be bound by it again. Because it's not going anywhere. It just left for a minute. It's just hanging outside the gates. It's just sitting outside waiting for you to do something, to think about something. If I can give you it, the why does the Bible say don't give it a step? Don't give it a footstep. Don't allow it in the door. Don't allow sin in. The thought pattern of it, the idea of it. If you used to be selfish, always present yourself on the opposite side of that. If you used to be a hoe, always present yourself. I gotta give it to you the way I gotta give it to you. And so you can't, because if you don't respect it enough, I got four today. You're not gonna move back. Move back. So if you used to do something, don't, oh yeah, it's cool now, I'm free from it, sage, hallelujah. No, you really need to pay attention to what you say, how you say, what you do, how you do it. Because your body, understand this, your body spent years and decades doing it. Your emotions have been out of control. You say, I got my emotions under control. Okay, all right. I'm no longer this. Understand this. There is a thin wall. And one of the things that people, when someone says something to me about who I used to be, I say, I can't afford to go back to that person. It ain't about you. It ain't about them. It ain't even about me. I can't. It costs too much at this point in my life to be who I used to be. I can't. That would destroy who I am. One of the greatest things about me is that I've been delivered from so many different things. You can't take that one away from me. If I never became a billionaire or anything else, I've been free from things that I thought you couldn't, that would never leave. I've done all. I've tossed and turned and cried and this, that, and the other. And so you have to get to your point where you respect it. What do you mean by respect? Is I see that it looks, if it's close to it, I don't need it. Why? Because it becomes a weight. And no, the weight is not the sin. The weight is just the thing that brings me to the sin. The weight, it brings me down into the sin. And I don't need nothing bringing me back to who I used to be, because it takes a long time for people to even realize that you're not who you used to be. They still, you 5 years, 6 years later, they still, oh, he just arrogant and cocky and prideful and all. So when you finally free, you got to decide that it's going to be, I got to put some stuff in front of the door. I got to make a bridge. I got to put myself so far away from who they say I was, who I used to be, that I can't see over it to even acknowledge it. It's you're over there, I'm over here. We doing our own thing, and I see it in other people, but I don't want to ever see it in who? Me. All right, last one. Fix the old you in every situation. You fixed you, right? You figure you like I'm a new attitude, new me, new year, new month. I don't care how you say it. You start being so prideful. But I just want, from a counselor standpoint, something that a lot of times people don't talk about in counseling is you can fix you here, but you have to fix you. You have to clear yourself from being selfish in every situation of your life. You only fix you as a parent. You only fixed you as a husband. You only fixed you at work. You only fixed you, when times are good, normal times. But when times get bad, you still flare up and respond, because you haven't fixed you in that area. When money gets funny, you haven't fixed you in that area. When you get caught in a situation, you haven't fixed you in that area. So you start cursing all the way through, because on a regular day it's easy. But on a hard day, they mother and they father and everybody can get it, because you've decided you know what? But you didn't realize that I got to do it in season and out of season. And so the issue that we have is that we don't notice that the situation, or the season has changed. The day has changed. The moment has changed. And so you ever somebody, you don't want me to get there. Well, no, I don't want me to get there. Because when I get there, I have to realize that that's a place I haven't checked. I haven't put it in check. In a bad day, I haven't put it in check. On a good day, it's always in check. I've been doing that for months now. But when you don't feel like exercising because it's a bad day, or you don't feel like not saying no to the second meal, it's a bad day. When you don't feel like not eating certain things, you understand what I'm saying. You've got to fix you in every situation. So if you take the time to think about it as you start to counsel yourself, you have to ask yourself, in what areas am I still being the person that I used to be? And that'll be the whole that beats this today's sermon, honestly. If you could just take the time to figure out in what areas are you still who you used to be, in what places in your life have you not gotten rid of the thing that you said you were delivered, healed, and set free from. Those are